So you started to notice the censorship happening like generally in culture, right? Like 2016, we thought the worst it was going to get would be like, wow, what? They didn't need to remake Ghostbusters to be all female. Like it was this annoying trend of
the like campaign, the ad campaign was like it's all women now, and men are dumb and stuff, and like they really pushed it, and they seem to like latch on to fans that were like, hey, maybe like why are you acting like this, and they go, you're a sexist, and it's like, whoa, like why are you, like we're just asking questions really, and then they just like, and it's only gotten worse over time, where they'll find any section of a fandom, like Ghostbusters fans or whatever, and if you ask questions, if you, anything against what their current movies are, you get labeled sexist, racist, whatever they feel like doing that day.
Right. It can't ever be about, well, hey, like you're not really doing justice to these characters or the storyline, or like, yeah, this character would never do or say that. And but if you're strictly just staying in that lane, oh no, you'll be dragged into misogyny or racism, and like that's just sort of like the I don't know. Sometimes I'm sick of talking about it, but I think it's important to look at, like, because I feel like we were all kind of bamboozled with it, and then before you know it, like the censorship is so cranked up, people are getting kicked off here and there. When did you first start to see like, okay, like this is starting to really be a concern on the show?
Definitely around YouTube adpocalypse. When was that? 2018. I want to say 2018 or 2019. I get all the years are all running together. But that year, whenever Vox, they came out with that Twitter storm of all of the supercuts of us making jokes on what was his name? Carlos Maza. That's right.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say his name. He's gonna come around.
Sometimes, yeah.
But yeah, and it was kind of shocking because it was just some person on Twitter able to get the attention of YouTube to shut us down. And it was very obvious that YouTube really didn't have any idea of what it wanted to do, because whenever it happened, YouTube like replied and was like, yeah, we're working on taking him down. And then people from our side were like, hey, don't censor people. What's happening? And then YouTube was like, okay, we're not going to completely take him off. We're going to just do this. And then it kind of went back and forth, and it's like they didn't know what they were doing. And then eventually we got demonetized. But it was like the start of people, like just somebody on Twitter being able to cancel somebody. That was whenever I really first started noticing that. And it's like the same thing in it's kind of across the board. Like you can just do that with any group. You could do it with our show. You could do it with entertainment anywhere. Like if you are loud enough and if you're offended enough, quotations, right? They're not really offended. They just want to take down their target. Like Gina Carano, that happened recently. There's like I'm going to give it maybe 1,000 people on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
That really, really hate Gina Carano because she's vaguely right-leaning or whatever. And
I got this, by the way.
Hey, man, I missed out. I didn't get mine. I couldn't find one.
Guess how much? Well, no.
How
much
you pay for that?
I really expected this to be bigger when I ordered it. It is like 50 something, but I'm like, whatever. I don't know.
Oh, dang.
I just was like, I kind of want one.
I'm sure that thing is like $8 now. How much is that worth? Probably way more than that, actually. I lowballed that.
I was thinking it would be something in a few years, once they're fully out of print or whatever.
Oh yeah. But yeah,
yeah.
It's like if you're a minority, a small group of people that are loud enough, you can get the attention of these huge corporations and they'll take you seriously. So it's like you can get somebody canceled if you say, oh, this person is offending me in some way, and it's offending some group on behalf of them. I'm going to say that you should take her down, or whoever, or this show, or this organization, or something like that. I don't know why our society is like this, why they validate it, and it's like these corporations, all they have to do is just don't listen. Like they don't listen to a lot of people, but for some reason they listen to these people, and all they got to do is just don't listen to them, and keep moving forward, and then make your own decisions. You don't got to make these. I think it's really just because there's people that are just very loud, and for some reason corporations think that Twitter is reality when it is not reality. Twitter is hyper reality. It's like the playground where you're just talking shit to each other all day, every day, nothing but that. And then, yeah, you got your little groups of people. You're like, hey, what's up? Yeah, but also, fuck you over there. You know, it's not reality. That's not how people actually act. You go outside and meet any of these people that are on Twitter, they're not going to act that way in real life. And if they do, I have seen people that do act that way. But it's few and far between in reality.
And you forget how, like, I would say most people are not even on Twitter. It's like the percentage of people that on Twitter are very, very loud. Like most people on Twitter, right? Like normal people. But then you think of like even the normaler people, you know, like the truck drivers, I don't know, the busy moms, whatever. Those are the only two groups of people I can think of that are not on Twitter.
They're on Facebook and YouTube. YouTube's huge with just so many different like normies all over the place. But like Twitter, yeah, you're right. The percentage of people that are on Twitter worldwide is so small, but for some reason corporations, and it's like whenever I'm seeing the government talk about tweets, it is the dumbest thing. Like, why are you're talking about literally a message on a message board on the internet? It sounds ridiculous whenever a congressman is like saying, oh, what did you say in that tweet? Did you take down that tweet? Did you say this thing in this other tweet? Like, don't talk. Just never talk about tweets ever. It doesn't matter. It's not reality. It's ridiculous that you're even talking about it right now.
Tweets have become way too important. It's like they're starting, people view them, and by people, I mean the idiots. I mean, like, yeah, right, government, the left, like, they're tweets. They're not mini press releases. But when you have celebrities like Chrissy Teigen, thank God she's off, RIP from Twitter.
That's what I call it now, Tweeter.
Like she would treat it like every tweet is a press release, and every tweet gets to be its own article, and it's just way too important to too many people, and that's the thing is like Twitter's become so important that careers have been canceled over it, jobs have been lost over it, and it's like, who decided that this was so important? You wouldn't be like, what about this snap you sent, or what about this TikTok?
Exactly.
About Twitter, which is just like.
It's insane how much importance has been put on Twitter as part of our society. Like, we can put Twitter away, and I think our whole entire world would be better for it. We still have other ways to communicate. Twitter is not the end-all, be-all of human communication on the internet. Like, it can go away. It's at least I think the way that it is created, and I don't know, just the way it's built, it like fosters that kind of interaction. Because even I see it in myself whenever I'm on Twitter and I'm talking, like I'll put something out and then somebody's replying and people are positive, and if you say like one thing that is against me, I don't have time to like berate and have like a little argument with some people that are. I immediately just go, okay, well, you're done, I'm done. I trash you and get out of here, and then I'll talk to the people that I like. So it like creates your little spheres. And you go, okay, I just like left-leaning thought, so I'm going to think about that, and that's all I'm going to hear. And if anybody says anything even close to maybe even just questioning one aspect of what I believe, I'm going to throw them away, because there's so many people that I could be talking to. I don't have time to talk to this person. So I think it's just a negative way for humans to connect and like conversate, and it's just it doesn't make good conversation.
And you think, I don't want to do what the left does. Like, I don't want to be creating my own echo chamber. Let me be as open to as many people and as many conversations as possible. But then I just find myself, I'm like, man, it seems like the people that find me specifically don't want a conversation. It's like I've been using the block button a lot more liberally lately.
I never used it. I didn't use it for like 5 years. I was like, look, I'm never going to use block. I'm better than that. I'm just going to let everybody reply.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I was just like, I'm sick of you. Like, no, you're gone. You're gone. Just because I just don't have time for it. And like I said, like the whole thing is built around having bad interactions with people and like making your own little square of people that you agree with and agree with you. So it's like, I can't help but do that if I want to be sane and not constantly on my phone trying to argue with people and change their mind. because you really can't. You can't on Twitter. There's no way.